That's a traditionally good basketball program. Montana State beat them 78-72. So the Bobcats, after struggling in the early part of the season, are riding a 2-game win streak. And the Aggies, of course, they are just on fire, 6-0, and coming off that Charleston Classic where they beat Tulane and Davidson, and both games handily, 96-75 and 94-16. A lot of great individual performances, and Drake Allen cannot hit the first 3 of the game. Allen, by the way, honored before the game as having gone over 1,000 points for his career. And Montana missing as well the other way as Caven Holden cannot hit, and the Aggies have the ball. So a nice career for Drake Allen in the second season here, but he played at UVU before that.
Yeah, and I think he's fit in really good with basketball culture at Utah State. He's a hard-nosed guard who kind of just finds his places and fits in, distributes the basketball well, and plays some amazing defense.
Had 19 points, 15 assists, and 8 steals in 2 games back in Charleston. That's some big numbers. MJ Collins knew that was off, went and chased it down, but not able to secure the rebound. And Collins himself, 61 points in 2 games back in Charleston. Really played well.
Yeah, and a 40-point game. It was really
Yeah,
impressive.
it was one of them, yeah. Still no score, but we do have a turnover. And Anderson has the ball knocked away. Both shot attempts for the Aggies are from 3 and haven't hit either one. I feel like every game we do, Gary, they start out slow from 3-point range.
Well, yeah, and I was going to say, I mean, they've got their season average up to 40% from 3. It must be when they get home they can't knock them down, because 40% is a pretty good average for 3-pointers.
Well, you remember that Utah State or Weber State game. They only hit like 3 threes and still won the game. Little battle going on underneath. Caven Holden with the foul, as you saw Carson Templin, the big 6'9", 230-pound junior, fighting for position.
Yeah, Utah State's going to have to use their size in this game, and I mean, especially if the threes aren't falling. But that's one thing that we've talked about quite a bit, is their ability to score even though the threes aren't falling.
Templin in the post, up and in, and the Aggies are on the board to start off this afternoon's scoring.
And I think that's the thing with Utah State. If they're just patient in their offense, if they can find good looks, generally the threes will start falling because they hit them in rhythm.
Well, Patrick McMahon was not in rhythm. He was standing out of bounds when he caught that pass. So it's a turnover for Montana State. The Bobcats giving that one up. They've already got 2 turnovers in the early going of this game. Mason Falslev once again trying to feed Templin and not able to hold his position, and it's turnover for the Aggies.
I think Carson had good position. It's just getting the right angles to deliver it into the post.
Mason, another Aggie that had a great tournament, Charleston Classic in the 2 games, 32 points, 12 rebounds, 8 steals. Aggies are 4th in the nation in steals per game, 12 per game. And 3-pointer, there's Falslev definitely blocked that.
Yeah, I mean, he's got such great athleticism. His length and his ability to get off the floor is another part of his game that people don't necessarily see too often.
Gary Clark has checked into the game, number 11. He'd been averaging double figures, 12 points, 10 rebounds, until that Charleston Classic fell a little behind on the rebound. And he did have 17 points and 13 rebounds in 2 games there, but his average now is 12 and 9.
Those are still great averages.
Pretty darn good. Each team now with a couple of turnovers. Yeah, Clark's been terrific. Texas A&M Corpus Christi transfer, already in his senior year. A little baseline jumper goes for Patrick McMahon, leading scorer on this team at 13 a game. Shares that with Davian Brown. McMahon, he's a senior from Alaska, and has spent his entire career, which is rare nowadays, with Montana State. And there goes Mason Falslev for 3.
And think about McMahon, he's 6'7", so he's got a size advantage playing on the perimeter. He can kind of get shots off that you may not be able to get.
Uh-oh, another turnover. MJ Collins with the finish.
And there's those steals you were talking about.
That Mason Falslev three, by the way, the first made three by either team in this game, and we're nearly 4 minutes in. There's Jed Miller. We talked about him in our pregame. Great Aggie interior defense as they kick out. And on the baseline, little teardrop up and in for Patrick McMahon.
And he's very versatile, like I was talking about. He can shoot it from the outside. He can put the ball on the floor. He's 6'7", so he's got some height for playing out there.
McMahon, by the way, has all the points for Montana State, all 4 of them. Can't seem to get anyone else going for these Bobcats. Here he goes again. Corner three on the way, and no, Jeremiah Davis cannot hit. Oh, nearly stolen it is. McMahon's got it. And McMahon with the layup, and he continues to be the scorer for the Bobcats. He's got all 6 of their points, and it's a 1-point game. Drake Allen. How about that battle underneath as Falslev goes, or Templin goes to the ground again. And another three, and McMahon continues to be the only guy scoring for Montana State, and they lead it now 9-7.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a couple easy ones off the beginning, and when you're a shooter and you're a scorer, the hoop only gets wider. So I'm sure he's going to continue to get shots up for this Bobcat team.
Well, he averages 13. He's already at 9. And we're only 5.5 minutes into this game.
Well, and he's been doing it all over the court. He's been hitting threes. He's been able to shot fake, put the ball on the ground, get it off the glass. And then those little short corner jumpers has really put him in a good position.
Not named McMahon has not been able to score. One of those abstract stats, I guess. It's kind of like time of possession in football that somebody else is going to score eventually.
Yeah.
So, but right now it's kind of fun to follow this. A 10-0 run for McMahon with relationship to his own team.
Yeah, I remember Utah State played Nevada, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago, and I can't remember what player had 22 straight points for that
to start the game.
To start the game.
Yeah. And again, finally up and in, and Davian Brown scores. And that's the first player for Montana State not named McMahon to get on the scoreboard, and it's a 10-0 run.
Well, I think for these Aggies, keeping the Bobcats off the offensive glass, I mean, talk about time of possession. They're getting 2 or 3 shots down the court, whether it's McMahon tying it up to come up or just then getting 2 or 3 shots off a missed shot. That, I know Calhoun's not going to be okay with that.
Well, he can't be thrilled with a 10-0 run either.
Absolutely. Well, I think the offensive rebounding is just an indication of who wants it more. You know, and I think the Bobcats right now are just showing they came out. They're not backing down. They're playing to win, and they're going to the glass. They're playing like they belong here and can win this game.
This is a long history between these two schools. I was actually surprised to see this, but Utah State leads the overall series 79-40. So nearly 120 games played in this series. That's a lot of games. Of course, Danny Sprinkle came from Montana State before spending his single year here in Logan. And the Aggies have missed 4 straight trips down the court. Their last 4 field goals. They need to get something going. Three-pointer. Perriman can't get it to go. How about an offensive rebound and a putback? And free throws coming for Colby King, who was fouled.
And that's kind of been his role this year. I mean, he comes up and he can be your leading scorer off the bench, but he brings such energy. He's athletic. He comes up with offensive rebounds. He gets touches on the defensive end. He can put points up on the offensive end. He's an extremely versatile player that brings a spark off the bench for these Aggies.
11 points for King, and he also just got the Aggies' first offensive rebound of the game. And King hits 77% free throw shooter, so pretty good at the line. And he, too, had a nice Charleston Classic in those 2 games. 25 points, 10 rebounds in the 2.
That's a great stat line.
Well, the Aggies, both games, scored 96 and 94. Just missed topping 100 twice, and they had to go all the way back east to do that.
Well, the air's a little thicker down there. It's easier to run. You know,
Yeah,
you got
that's a
more
good point.
energy.
They probably do experience that.
Oh, I
you know,
can guarantee they do.
I don't think people realize just how high it is here in Logan. I mean, there's an adjustment even for the players that come to play for Utah State, but it's made, fairly quick. And there's a big 3. That's up and in for Colby King.
Well, that's what I was saying for Utah State when they, that 10-0 run for the Bobcats. Utah State wasn't getting it inside. They weren't getting easy buckets. They weren't drawing any fouls, and they were just relying on tough shots at the end of the shot clock, whereas Colby comes in, gets to the free throw line, puts 2 in, gets himself in a good rhythm, and now can get some shots up from 3, and they feel more comfortable doing that.
And on the other end, good defense for the Aggies. Waka Batch has checked in. 6'10" sophomore out of Florida State for Matt Logie's Bobcats. When we come back, we're deadlocked early on here, Aggie basketball.
They're just doing a good job on the boards, which I think is letting them hang around and get some easy buckets and get to the foul line or getting some fouls logged on the scoreboard.
Elijah Perriman, number 1, the point guard. Right now, the freshman, San Francisco, California, and loses the ball. So a turnover going the other way, and it's tipped back up and in by Jaden Stepney, another transfer out of Colorado State. King nearly loses the ball. And there's Gary Clark, up and in, and Gary Clark is on the board.
And that's not an easy shot to catch it right there in the paint and then be able to go up with a soft touch. That's a great touch by Clark.
Another freshman on the floor, number 35, Adlin Alameen from Arlington, Virginia, the 6'9" freshman for Jared Calhoun's team.
So another shot goes up and ends up, in Bobcats' hands. They're crashing those boards. And on the defensive end, they were getting a lot of touches, even though Utah State was able to score. It wasn't in the flow of their offense. It was kind of a shot that a tough shot he had to make.
Yeah, 12-6 on the rebounding, Gary, in favor of Montana State. But that'll bring the crowd to their feet as MJ Collins. And he has been shooting great this season, well above his career averages.
Yeah, I mean, I looked at the stat sheet, and I couldn't believe what he's putting up, 52% from 3, over 60% from the field. That's phenomenal field goal percentage.
Yeah, you and I were both talking about that, and we had to look it up like several times to make sure our eyes didn't deceive us. But that is correct. And he's putting up a lot of shots, too. This isn't like early season, just a handful of, field goals.
Right,
so.
when you score 40, you got to put up some shots, and to keep those percentages through that's impressive.
And hasn't missed a free throw. I'll mention that now before he goes to the free throw line. I know I can't do that one. Oh, I think Drake Allen thought that MJ was going to make a cut, and that resulted in that turnover.
I mean, I could see exactly where Drake Allen was going with that pass. He had Collins, if he would have cut, he had a wide open lane. But
good idea.
Yeah,
is the bottom line. 5 turnovers now for Utah State. They show a little trap here. And getting right to the basket, almost uncontested, Jeremiah Davis. The Fullerton transfer junior.
Well, Hodges did a great job on that, too, to seal the big man down low and allow that open lane to occur. I mean, he had Tucker on his back, I think, and just created that wide open lane.
Three-pointer, another one. And King hits. So King, as that three goes up, has 2 field goals, and they're both threes. And leads the Aggies scoring with 8 points. And now MJ wants another, and he's got another. And now the Aggies starting to fill it up.
See, and this is where they become extremely dangerous. I mean, if they're making these shots and they have the ability to score on the posts, they become a team that's very difficult to deal with because they can go inside and outside all over the court and make it a nightmare for defenses to try to adjust to that.
Well, the three-point shot is back, Gary. They've hit 5 of them. And 50% on their three-pointers in this game, but the rebounding has been strong for Montana State, and they got another one. And up and in, count the basket. And now it looks like MJ
lost a contact.
Lost a contact, yeah.
I'm surprised at this call because he goes up for the rebound. He just comes over his – oh, there we go. Yeah, I can see it now.
Yeah, so free throws coming now for Jeremiah Davis. What a move that must have been. You're from Compton, California. You play at Fullerton. It's beautiful. It's sunny. It's warm. And now you're in Montana State. You're in
the frozen tundra.
Yeah. Where those winters can be brutal up there.
It's beautiful country, though.
Oh, it's fantastic. So he converts the three-point play. It's a 4-point game as we approach 8 to play here in the first half. Aggies on a little bit of a roll. They've scored their last 5 field goals. That's the first miss in the last 5, but there is a foul. So Drake Allen will be going to the free throw.
And then he shoots it, and it's tough to be a great shooter. Not that I was any great shooter, but those that I played with.
And when I say lacking for confidence, I'm not saying he's like arrogant or anything like that.
No.
He's got basketball confidence, and he's a terrific young man.
Yes, that's for sure.
Yeah. One of the few Aggies now that's married. Tried to feed Templin. Templin's going to stay with it and can't finish as Chris Hodges, the transfer from Wisconsin, getting in the way of Carson Templin. And now the Bobcats looking to tie or even take the lead. And McMahon, talk about confidence, he'll shoot it from anywhere. And no go. Jordy Barnes with some good defense there.
That was great.
The ball away, yeah. Anderson 3. And Tucker Anderson on the year, 39% three-point shooter, so he can hit those. Little spin move, Jed Miller. McMahon. And Carson Templin's got the board. 5 minutes to play here. First half, and what a battle this has been. Just a 2-point lead for the Aggies. And another quick foul for Jeremiah Davis.
Well, I think that's what's going to help the Aggies is if they can kind of, work the ball down low, maybe get some inside out going. That will help them create an offense where they can be more in flow. Whereas it seems a little bit disjointed. They're taking the baskets where they can get them, and if they're not hitting those threes, which they've kind of gone cold from the three-point line, it'll give them an ability to kind of get going.
Well, the Aggies are on a 2.5-minute scoring drought.
Mm-hmm.
And this could end it. Free throws coming for MJ Collins.
Which that's just what we were talking about. Get it down low on the block. It doesn't have to be a post player. Either get an easy basket or get to the free throw line to try to get some points on the board.
You always wonder if these Thanksgiving weekend games, if there's any, tryptophan hangover.
Oh,
There's some
guarantee
coaches
it is.
that won't let their kids eat turkey,
Yeah.
especially if they got a game that day or the next.
I get it. When my junior year here down in the South, we went to the South Padre Islands for a tournament. We had a big Thanksgiving dinner down there. I felt that for a day or two. We played
Really?
Iowa and Vandy down
And
there.
how'd you do?
I did not do well. Personally, we won against Iowa. We lost to Vandy.
Little too much turkey.
That's right.
But it's so good.
It is.
But there's a reason we all nap after Thanksgiving
Oh, my
dinner,
gosh,
folks.
yes.
27-24, 4.5 to play first half. These Bobcats have come to play, and they're giving the Aggies everything they can handle. Deep three, Jed Miller. He's attempted a couple of those, haven't been able to get them to fall. MJ hits! His third three of the game, MJ Collins.
Well, the thing that's amazing about the Bobcats is as many three-pointers as that they've taken and missed, they're still hanging around. See, they come up with another offensive rebound. So,
Oh, the crowd wants to travel. I'm not entirely sure that was, but it certainly looked like
yeah, it was close.
But yeah, and to your point, Gary, they're hanging around despite the fact they're on about a 2.5, nearly a 3-minute scoring drought, and that will probably end here. I don't know if they're sending him to the line on
Here's
this
this.
one.
Oh,
No.
yeah.
Well, we got a good one. Probably a little better than some expected. 30-24, under 4 to play here. And
Games 4. It's the
get on the
Jumbotron
Big
and
Tron?
Big Blue.
Yeah. Well, it's amazing when you look at this. You were pointing out as that three-point attempt is blocked, but how many three-pointers they've shot versus how many they've made, and yet they're still in this game.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, over half their shots have been three-pointers, or nearly half their shots have been three-pointers. They've only made one, and they're still within 6.
And shooting free throws. Yeah, 1 for 14, and then they continue just to dominate the boards. Uncharacteristic for the Aggies, though. As
Yeah, I mean-
the Bobcats are owning the rebounding.
And then Mason blocks that shot, and then the Bobcats come up with the loose ball or the rebound, and now they're at the free throw line trying to put more points on the board.
Jaden Steppe at the line, Colorado State transfer out of Tualatin, Oregon. This place should not get this quiet when the visitors are shooting free throws. Well, I can tell you when they're shooting at the other end, the herd will wake up.
Yeah.
Back to a 4-point lead for the Aggies. 3.5 to play here. Aggies trying to maintain that perfect record this season. They are 6-0. Montana State 3-4. And MJ Collins, he's been hot. Can't get that one to fall. Another rebound for Montana State. Oh, McMahon got his pocket picked. You can kind of see that coming. Mason Falslev to Templin, and Templin will be shooting free throws.
And that's where Mason is so good. I mean, you've talked a number of times about his ability to play football. I think those strong hands get in there. He comes up with loose balls and steals that are really impressive.
2 fouls, by the way, for Jed Miller. So Templin goes to the free throw line, 67% free throw shooter. The junior out of Fairview, Texas.
It's fun to watch Mason and Carson play, too, because you can tell they're good friends off the court.
Yeah,
and
no doubt.
They definitely show that on the court. They look for each other. They're both really hard-working, great decision makers. So they're a fun duo to watch.
Oh, they're in their third year together here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that ball is available, but again, Bobcats come up with it. Deep three on the way, and Brown's shot won't go, and give Templin another rebound, and here come the Aggies. Elijah Perriman back in the game. And Falslev with the layup.
I think he feels really at home in the paint. He's got such great footwork down there and it's great poise. When he gets down there, he's not rushed. He can kind of look for a shot and find those angles to get easy buckets.
And on the other side, Montana State now 1 of 16, and Perriman almost had a steal. And then Falslev knocks that out of bounds. Perriman is so fun to watch.
He really is. He's got so much talent in so many areas. He makes the game look very easy for a freshman in the way that he plays.
McMahon, shot clock about to expire, and of course, McMahon hits again. What a game he is having.
Well, I think that's the thing for the Bobcats is Utah State's forcing them to take those threes, and fortunately they're coming up with offensive rebounds. But if they can get dribble off the three-pointer, get into the key, they're making those shots.
McMahon has now exceeded his season average in a half. He's got 15, averages 13 as Zach Keller checks into the game. He's playing about 10, 11 minutes a game. Utah transfer. Number 32, Zach.
Yeah, he's a big body, comes in, plays solid minutes. He's a great option for these Aggies with Templin and Clark. Complements them well.
Well, Cavan holding a little too aggressive with MJ Collins and picks up his third. And Collins going to the free throw line. Bobcats now with 8 fouls in the first half. Ooh. We're both looking at each other like, don't say it.
Yeah, right.
Don't say it.
I had a lot to say, but I said nothing.
We'll just let this play out.
That's
here.
right.
Perfect. Still.
Yeah, 18 for 18.
Yeah. On the season, has not missed a free throw this year.
And the Aggies in these last 2 trips down the court onto the defensive end have been very disruptive. Their ability to get touches, knock the ball out of bounds, and not let the Bobcats get easily into their offensive sets are helping them increase this lead a bit.
Three-pointer, can they finally get one? And they do. Only their second of the game. And it's a 35-31 Aggie lead. By the way, Collins did, I stand corrected, he missed his first free throw of this game.
Oh.
But he has, it was so long ago. But he, on the season, it's just unbelievable. He is 19 of 20.
Yeah, that's
free throws. And another Bobcat with 3 fouls.
And Keller in there doing work, coming up with some offensive boards. That's exactly what the Aggies needed. They needed someone to come in and spark them to kind of do to the Bobcats what they've been doing to them all this first half.
Keller's only averaging 1.2 rebounds a game. He doesn't play all that much, plays about 7 minutes a game. Didn't score in the Charleston Classic at all. But he's a pretty good free throw shooter. Although that's an 0 for 2 trip, but he's 75% free throw shooter on the season.
Yeah, he's got a good release.
And a timeout is taken by Montana State. There's 1 minute to play, and Matt Logi's Montana State Bobcats are within 4 points.
Yeah, I mean they've done a ton in this first half to keep themselves hanging around, and that on the road, that's exactly where you want to be. You want to be within striking distance at halftime and just keep it close throughout the second half and give yourself an opportunity to come out with a win, which would be huge for them playing in the Spectrum.
Well, and for the statistical categories where they've really struggled, like shooting, they make up for that with rebounding.
Yeah, I mean and you know, in a lot of ways they're undersized. I mean, and they've just been able to come up with boards and do it through grit and toughness and awareness, and they're keeping themselves around.
24 rebounds for Montana State, 14 for the Aggies.
Yeah, and on the road to be plus 10 at halftime, I think that's kind of been the key stat of this first half for them.
Well, the other area where the Aggies kind of struggling, so Montana, that both teams have 7 free throws made, right? But Montana has attempted 8. Aggies have attempted 12.
Yeah.
So not great free throw shooting this afternoon as well. All right, 1 minute to play. Driving and cut off. McMahon, he is just so determined, but cannot get that shot to fall. 35 seconds to play. Aggies with the ball. King working in the paint and draws the foul. Free throws coming for King.
Yeah, I mean, I think the way that King plays, he plays just like he's a starter. I mean, you're bringing a starter in off the bench. He's so versatile. He's so fluid and he's athletic that he can come in and put up huge numbers for you.
Transfer from Butler out of Pompano Beach, Florida. And a good free throw shooter. Okay, I need to stop mentioning that. All I said he was good. I didn't have.
You didn't give his numbers.
I didn't say,
But I think to your point, the Utah State's free throw shooting woes continue.
Yeah. Well, he connects there, but here the Aggies are shooting 43% on their threes, but only 57% on their free throws.
They just need to put a complete half together, And maybe they just are able to do that on the road, but when they get home, it's not the same.
Step back three, up and in. Davian Brown with 10 seconds to play cuts the Aggie lead to just 2. Aggies looking for the last shot. The freshman Perriman. That went off Gary Clark's hands and out of bounds. It'll be Aggie basketball. 1.5 on the clock. It's not Aggie basketball. Went off the Aggies. So Bobcats in good shape, down just 2 with a second and a half to perhaps get up one more shot. And that's intercepted, and that'll do Saturday afternoon. And certainly got to give credit, Gary, to Montana State for hanging around. The Aggies definitely have some work to do. We've seen them really come out with some strong second halves. Would love to have heard the halftime conversation that Jared Calhoun had. I'm not sure conversation would describe it accurately, but
absolutely.
But anyway, we're looking forward to this.
Yeah, I mean, watching the Aggies come, with Weber, it was a close game. The in-game adjustments that Coach Calhoun's able to make, and then the Aggies usually respond to that. So
UTEP was the same way.
That's right.
So Montana State, the Bobcats will get the ball to start this second half as Patrick McMahon, who's really had a great game, will trigger here. Leads with 15 points for the Bobcats. A couple points above his average. Dave Fox along with Gary Wilkinson. Good to have you with us on this Saturday afternoon. This will be our last broadcast until January when the Aggies get into league play. And good defense by Templin. But again, Bobcats just keep coming up with those offensive rebounds.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing with this Aggie defense. Sometimes the way they rotate on the perimeter is it puts the big man on the guards and leaves your guards down there to try to grab offensive rebounds against those big guys, which is, one of the things that you're willing to give up or at least what the Aggies are willing to give up in this defense.
Well, we'll see how that plays out. Drake Allen, little hook shot, offensive board, Templin, and a rare offensive rebound for the Aggies, and Carson made the Bobcats pay.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I think Calhoun wants to see in this second half is the Aggies put as much pressure on the offensive boards as Montana State's been able to put on the Aggies, and which has kept them close throughout this game.
Turnover. False lev. Oh, Mason just left it short, but look who's there to mop things up, Tucker Anderson.
Yeah, come in with 2 offensive boards, first 2 times down the court. I think Calhoun will be happy with that.
4-0 run to start this second half. Jed Miller right into the paint, and that ends the drought. Back to a 4-point Aggie lead. Drake Allen, we mentioned it, has gone over 1,000 points in his career. Played at UVU before joining Utah State. Mason spins in the lane and hits.
And that's like I talked about in the first half. His poise in the paint, his footwork, and he keeps his dribble alive, finds the angles, and plays like a post down there a lot of the time.
McMahon. Oh, and Allen tips the ball away from him. The Aggies have it. Another steal for Utah State. MJ Collins. And he is fouled. They have made every shot on their second half possessions. So whatever was spoken in the locker room, they've certainly taken that to heart. Good crowd on hand amongst the, the rank and file, the fans. Not a ton of the herd, but they've been loud and proud, no doubt about that, and a turnover as that pass came in a little high for Templin.
Yeah, this crowd, no matter a little bit diminished, but they're still making their presence known in a close game.
I, for one, love these 2 o'clock afternoon starts on Saturdays.
It's great.
They didn't have a lot of these last year, only a couple of them. They thought they'd try it this year. McMahon gets the pass inside and dribbles off his hands, and it's another turnover, Aggie basketball.
Yeah, and that's the thing that Aggies are doing in the second half. I mean, they were disruptive, but they're getting their hands on basketballs, coming up, forcing turnovers, creating fast break points, getting offensive rebounds. They're doing some things that show some initiative and some toughness.
Gary Clark checking into the game as Templin goes to the bench, and Allen can't believe it. He's just called for a traveling, and he's having none of that.
Well, he sent his defender back to about the first row on that one. I don't see a travel whatsoever.
Yeah. Want to take 2 off the board. Jed Miller trapped in the corner. Oh, big high pass, and it's too high. He just heaved that clear across the court. And another turnover.
Yeah, the Aggies got him trapped in the corner there with Big Clark, and Mason Falslev forced them to make a tough pass, hard decision out of the trap.
3 turnovers in this second half alone for Montana State. They're up to 10 in the game. Falslev deep 3. And that ball still kept alive, but the Bobcats come up with it. Little post-up move there, Chris Hodges. And great defense by Gary Clark. Hodges could do nothing. 3-pointer is on the way, and it's up and in for Davian Brown. And my goodness, just like that, it's back to a 3-point Aggie lead, 16 to play.
See, and I think that's the thing is if Montana State was making their threes last half, Aggies would have been in a more difficult spot just because
no doubt. Well, for the game, they're still just 3 of 19 as MJ Collins hits the mid-range. Collins himself also having a very good game. 16 points. Three-pointer, and Jed Miller cannot deliver. Jared Calhoun imploring his guys to get up and run.
Well, I think that's the thing is the Aggies are a running team, and they've only had 6 fast break points in that first half, which I think that's kudos to Montana State.
That's 4 fouls now on Jed Miller. But we still have a good one. It's a 5-point game here. Aggies with the lead on KMYU TV locally and on the mountain. We're back here in Logan. Aggies trying to stay perfect on the season. Getting to 7-0 if they can hold off, shall we say, the pesky Bobcats, because that's exactly what they are.
Yeah, they're keeping themselves in this game on the road. And you just want to hang around.
And the crazy thing is, and you've mentioned this several times, they're doing this only shooting 35% field goals, so the Aggies hitting half their shots, and yet they're hanging around. Again, they just continue to dominate on the boards, although the gap is narrowing a little bit. Another miss for the Aggies.
But that's the thing is the Aggies gave them a lot of hope in that first half. And so hope's a powerful emotion on the basketball court because it allows you to believe you can do things that maybe the Aggies could have closed the door on early, but they've let them in there through hustle plays, through offensive rebounding, through getting to the foul line, various things that has kept Montana State hopeful throughout this game.
Yeah, they're certainly not playing like a team that's afraid to be up here.
Not at all.
Driving into the paint, and good defense on the way, and the Aggies have the ball again. Another missed shot for the Bobcats, who continue to hang around them either way. Freshman Elijah Perriman, number 1, he's into the game. And here he comes, and Perriman right to the rack for the layup.
That was great hesitation. Able to put Brown on his back foot, not knowing whether he's going to pass it or go for it, and was able to convert on an easy layup.
At the other end, McMahon goes right at Gary Clark. Oh, no. And this is going to be a foul on the rebound.
I was calling 2 shots on that. I think that was a late call, watching him go up here. Looks like Clark went straight up. Oh, might have. Okay, Perriman might have got him from the behind.
I was looking at that rebound because you're right, it came in really late. But you are correct. So McMahon shooting free throws. He's already got 15, now 16 points.
Hey, my friend's coming for your job and he's
He shares the scoring lead with MJ Collins, who has 16 for the Aggies, and misses the second. Nice pass, Perriman. Clark to Perriman. For his part, Clark only with 2 points in this game. As a deep 3 is up, and it is in for Caven Holden. My goodness.
And honestly, out of a press, those are the shots that you want the offense to be taking. Rush threes early in the shot clock, but that's what you have to live with. Sometimes those go in.
Well, they haven't hit a lot of them tonight, but that one was certainly pure. 5 of 21 now. After that one, Gary Clark in the post. And now King stays with big block shot for Chris Hodges. And getting to the rack. Oh, behind the back pass. I don't think Jeremiah Davis expected that. And had a little trouble holding on to it.
Well, and the Aggies look out of sorts defensively. Obviously, on a turnover, it's going to be a little bit difficult to get back in transition. But even throughout the game, they're not staying disciplined on the three-point line. They're leaving their feet as shooters go up, and it's allowing the Bobcats to kind of get in and penetrate into the lane and get some shots. Whereas if they would have just stayed disciplined, it makes it a lot more difficult.
Three-pointer from the corner, and that's off. Here come the Aggies. And again, your point earlier, that hope that these Bobcats have. Oh, what a pass and what a finish. Gary Clark throws one down.
And I think, Utah State's kind of on the verge. This crowd's wanting a few good things to happen. If they can get a stop here, put another point, some points on the board.
Oh, boy.
But that's what I'm talking about. If MJ just stays down and doesn't go for the shot fake, very rarely you're going to block a perimeter shooter. So if he just stays down defensively, doesn't allow angles to happen, that foul doesn't happen.
And instead he ends up with his third foul. And Adlan El-Amin, the freshman from Arlington, Virginia, getting set to check in. But first free throw's coming for Kalen Holden. And El-Amin will check in for the Aggies. Mason Falslev will go to the bench. And that is 3 fouls, though, on MJ Collins with 12 to play, so he's going to have to be careful.
Against UTEP and Weber State, we saw Utah State come out and try to get it to the block a little bit more, which I thought was a great move because it allowed them to get more in flow in their game. I haven't seen that much this game.
They do have some bigs in there with El-Amin and Gary Clark. El-Amin, how about that big man three?
Yeah, and he's a fantastic shooter. He's got such a smooth game. For him to come out there and be willing to just take shots, that's what you want.
Hesitate.
Right.
Oh man, they're gonna say El-Amin pushed Jeremiah Davis. Oh, man, okay. Well, fans aren't liking it one bit. I don't know what is happening here, but the refs need to get this thing under control.
That's what I was going to say. I agree.
All right, so McMahon has the ball, and here we go. Boy, this game is physical. Mm-hmm. Corner three is up and in, and it is pure for Davian Brown. And again, these Bobcats are not going to go away quietly.
No, you can feel the intensity starting to ratchet up here. The physicality. The refs are going to have to call a tighter game to keep it under control.
Brown has 4 made threes for Montana State as Drake Allen can't get that. It landed right in the hands of Gary Clark, and now a foul to Montana State.
Which I think this crowd is just looking for an opportunity to get into it. Utah State's hustle plays, coming up with offensive rebounds, getting themselves to the line is what's going to help get this crowd into it, and Utah State may be able to pull away.
Double a couple of games ago. Ooh, the ball almost tipped away. It'll stay with the Bobcats. This battle between Clark and Waka and Batch, the 6'10" sophomore transfer from Florida State, is a good one. You can see Clark down in the post, and another loose ball ends up in the hands of the Bobcats. They have lived on these offensive rebounds.
Absolutely.
Davis into the post. Nice little reverse post move for Mbach. And here we go, 3-point game. Drake Allen loses the ball. But they get it right back, and back and forth it goes. To jailbreak. And McMahon with Gary Clark playing some defense, and great defense for Clark.
Well, that's the thing is the Aggies turn the Bobcats over. They're passing the ball well. They're shooting well from the field. It's just Bobcats are just coming up with plays when they need to keep themselves close. I mean, this game is going to turn into who wants it more down the stretch.
I feel like Jared Calhoun's also looking for the right combination of players, getting ready to check in Falslev and Templin along with Perriman. Shot clock at 1 and an air ball. So Templin, Perriman, and Falslev will check into the game. And Colby King and MJ Collins will stay in the game.
Yeah, and I think that's, the Aggies are coming up with great pressure defensively. They're getting their hands on the basketball, but just got to put a string of those together while scoring on the offensive end.
Well, they do have 8 steals. Montana State only has 3 as Collins shorts that one. And then sneaking in and stealing the ball away from him, Caven Holden. And the Bobcats are going to take a timeout, just hanging around. About 9 minutes to play here in the first half.
When the Aggies in a lot of ways are just playing tired. I was watching them walk off the court. They're walking off during timeouts, and that's not a good sign. Your ability to timeouts called, your focus, you're getting to the bench, getting instruction from coach and getting ready to go back out to continue on in the second half.
It's just been phenomenal, Gary.
Yeah, they've been coming up with baskets when they need a basket, a rebound when they need a rebound, and a stop when they need to stop. It's just, putting themselves in a position to do what they need to do to keep themselves in the game.
Shot clock at 3. And with 1 second on the clock, another offensive rebound. My goodness. And another 3. And Caven Holden missed 2 threes on that possession. The Aggies finally get the rebound. Oh, Perriman. You talked about that burst of speed, and he had it there, but it was blocked. And then out of bounds off the Aggies.
Yeah, and these Aggies like to get out and run. So, those transition baskets are things that they're looking for. I'm sure they work on in practice, but just on that one, little court awareness, knows who you're around. And, a nice block from the Bobcats.
A couple of Bobcats playing with 3 fouls, and Jed Miller, who has the ball now, playing with 4. And a 3 to tie. And no, and fortunate for the Aggies, a big rebound for Colby King. They get out and run. Oh, King wanted that 3. Templin in the post, and Carson gets his own rebound and puts it back up and in. There's some hustle for you.
See, and that's what I'm saying is the Aggies need to go to the block. They need to get the ball inside. Even if they're not scoring from there, it just gives a different look to Montana State to kind of disrupt what they've been preparing for. And Aggies have been able to do that against other teams this year. They just have been reticent to go that direction tonight.
And with a guy like Templin, he could certainly pay it off for you.
Absolutely.
Good defense from Mason Falslev all over Miller. 3-pointer again. Another one. It's a 2-point game again. And Montana State suddenly finding the long range on the game. They're just 7 of 28, but they've come up with a couple of big ones here. Perriman. Oh, what a battle underneath as that shot missed. Templin was on the ground along with Howie Keene. And McMahon up and in, and we are tied. Under 7 to play, and it's a tie game.
See, the Aggies are not playing with much confidence right now. They look tired. No one's wanting to step up and take the shots.
Oh, nice lob pass. You were talking about that connection between Falslev and Templin, and it paid off there.
Like we said, this is going to be a grinded out game. It's just going to be who wants it more, because these Bobcats are not going away. That's right.
Loose ball. Over and back. Now the crowd starts to come to life. That by 10. But other than that, in this building, this is about as close as a game has been at this juncture. Templin. And Templin, the big hook is up and in, and a 4-point lead returns. 6 minutes to play.
And I think the Aggies are smart. They're looking for their post. They're going to the block, into the paint to try to get some easier baskets.
McMahon really started hot in this game as he goes baseline. That's an air ball. He had 15 at the half. He's only had 3 since.
And this is where the Aggies just need to be disciplined. Got to stick with what's working.
Oh, block. Chris Hodges. Deep 3. And Jed Miller hits again. And here we are back to a 1-point game one more time.
That's what I say. Hope's a powerful thing. Brings a lot of confidence and brings a lot of believing in things that taking shots like that will produce.
That's what the Aggies need. Mason Falslev now with 11. 3 Aggies in double figures along with Falslev. It's Templin and MJ Collins. An offensive foul is called.
Well, that was a tough play from Templin because he had to show on that defense out there to stop the trap the ball and then get back into position to take the charge. That was a heads-up play by Templin.
Templin goes to the bench. Gary Clark checks in.
Well, Templin gave him some huge minutes. That charge, 6 points. That was exactly what the Aggies needed.
And he only has 1 foul. He's been so physical. And how about mopping up? Falslev couldn't finish it off, but Gary Clark is there. And now the Aggies back to that 5-point lead. McMahon, you got to watch out for this guy. And there it is, up and in.
Well, that's what we talked a little bit about in that first half. He's 6'7", so his ability to kind of play on the perimeter but get the ball on the block and score, he's got a definite size advantage against these smaller guards.
So 1 free throw coming. And here we are back to a 2-point game again. 4 minutes to play. And the Bobcats are loving this. Collins, gives it back to Clark. Drake Allen really looked at taking that 3. Instead, he takes it into the post, and that hook shot won't go up. And here come the Bobcats again with a chance to tie or take the lead. 3.5 to play.
See, in the first half, Drake's taking that three-pointer. He's wide open.
A little hesitant on that one. Oh, baby. Just under 3.5 to play. Taking a timeout, and we've got a good one here. It's a 2-point lead at home for the Aggies. Stick around for a wild finish on KMYU locally and the Mountain West Network. MJ Collins, he has 16 in the game, but he only has 2 points in the second half. Your leading scorer.
Yeah, I mean, he's had such a great, set of games to come out, be so offensive-minded. I think you try to find your place within the offense game to game, and getting the opportunities. I think Coach Calhoun most likely will be looking to him down the stretch.
McMahon, that could be offensive, and it is. It's going the other way. 4 fouls now for McMahon. And they could ill afford to lose him.
And that's just great defense by Drake Allen, getting in position, staying in front of him, making him score over you, and McMahon just wanted to go through him.
McMahon will stay in the game with the 4 fouls. Jed Miller just went to the bench with his 4 fouls. So Matt Logie's going to have to be very careful with 2 of his studs here in the last 3 minutes of this game. Templin rolls off.
That was a great move.
Ooh, MJ Collins almost got his hand on that one. And here comes McMahon spinning into the lane, and Templin secures the rebound. Under 3 to play, 2-point game. Drake Allen getting instructions from Coach Calhoun. Looked like the offense was in a little bit of trouble, so he takes a quick timeout.
I could see when Drake lost the handle on that, Coach Calhoun is saying, I don't like what's going on here. I'm going to get us set up into something different. And I think a lot of what Calhoun does is he lets the Aggies play. The offense is pretty free-flowing. They can kind of work within that offense to find their points to score, but he does drop some amazing plays. So I'll be interested to see what he comes up with out of this timeout. In a close game, every possession counts down this stretch.
Last year, of course, in his debut, the Aggies won their first 10 games, set a record for a first-year head basketball coach, winning his first 10.
Yeah, I mean, he's on track right now to do the same thing.
Well, after this, they head to South Florida and Charlotte, back-to-back road games back east. Then they come back home. They play a game in the Delta Center on December 13th against Illinois State. And here's the interesting thing. They actually open league play December 20th against Colorado State. They have to start a little earlier because they have a non-league game in the middle of the conference season against Memphis, which is here, by the way.
Yeah, that'll be a fun game.
So an interesting scheduling situation there as Templin goes to the ground and gets a quick timeout. Are they going to? Yeah, they're going to give him the timeout. And that was smart because you could ill afford to lose possession with 2.5 to play, and you're only up 2.
And the Bobcats did great. I mean, the Aggies were looking for Collins on that. They sat high side on that down screen, and we're not going to allow him to come off of that. So, the Aggies had to improvise, and I don't think that's what Coach Calhoun wanted to end up with.
Aggies now only have 1 timeout left with 2.5 to play.
Yeah, I think you had to call it, though.
Yeah, there was trouble brewing.
But just watching these Aggies in this timeout, I mean, it just doesn't look like the fire's there. I mean, you're going to have a guy stand up with a lot of energy and be talking and making things happen out there, because you're going to need some leadership here.
Well, here's the play you were talking about. We'll see what Coach Calhoun has drawn up. Oh, inside. Falslev gets a layup. And it kind of looked like when it was developing, it was going to go to MJ Collins, who was obviously just a decoy there. 3-pointer, air ball. And Falslev's got it, and he's fouled.
See, and that's what Mason can do that. He puts your points in, comes up with that bucket, comes up with the rebound that you need to have, and now puts him 1 foul closer to the bonus in a very close game.
And now 4 fouls for Holden. And Jed Miller will check back in. He's got 4. 2:10 to play. That's just the 6th foul of the half for the Bobcats. Actually, both teams with 6 with only 2 minutes left. We had a game last week. They were in the bonus not even halfway through the second half.
Which I thought this was headed that direction.
Yeah. Lob. Templin finish. And the Aggies have opened up a 6-point lead. McMahon Pass nearly stolen. And now McMahon from the corner. Oh, and he got fouled again. This is the second time he's been fouled on a 3 in this game.
And it was Drake both times.
Yeah.
But Drake on those closeouts, puts his hand into the body, makes it an easy call.
Well, you can't see the landing. You have to, allow them landing space. But you're right. So a chance for another 3-point play for McMahon. Patrick McMahon from Palmer, Alaska. Spent his entire career in Bozeman with the Bobcats. %70 free throw shooter. Twice he has been to the line for 3. And both times he connected on all 3 of them. He now has 24 points. Remember, we were just talking about how he hadn't scored much in the second half. Well, since then, he's had a pretty good second half. Here we go, minute and a half to play. Allen, false lips wide open. Could not get that to fall. 3-point game.
And Utah State's going to want to try to make someone else beat them.
Oh, no call there. McMahon brings him within a point. Jared Calhoun holds the finger up, says, let's go.
So another pick and roll. They're going to back screen Templin's man to look for a lob.
Oh, no. Awful pass. Turnover. And Montana State could take the lead. No call here as bodies are on the ground, but it's Montana State's ball. 55 seconds to play. Aggies by a point. I think Allen even saw him.
Yeah, I think that's the thing is coming off that screen when you're a passer to jump to leave your feet gives you very little options if you have no place to go.
MJ Collins is imploring
that
Calhoun to review this play.
And I think he's right to review it. I think this will end up being Utah State's
and they
ball.
are going to review it now. And now Matt Logie is furious. He doesn't want to review. So they're going to look at this, and depending on what angles we have.
Yeah, I think coming down here, I think Mason was able to knock it off his leg right there.
Oh, right there.
Yep.
Oh, you're right. Well, based on
Utah State is challenging the call in the court of Montana State ball. The previous play is under review.
You saw Jared Calhoun turn around and look at his coaching staff because they'll have a look at this pretty quick on their various devices. Do we want to review it? But this is a good call because from what we could see there, it certainly looks like it did not go off false lead. Now, full disclosure, we don't have the benefit of controlling the replays here. This is an in-house production. So, but the one look we did get, it looked to me like it went off Holden's leg.
Yeah, I think this will be overturned, but like you said, we don't have all the angles. From our angle, definitely look like that. It's going to go off Montana State.
Michael Irving, Nate Harris, and Bob Kuhneman both over at the replay screen taking a look at it right now. But this is an absolutely huge call. If this goes to the Aggies, especially, stays with Montana State, then they have a chance to take the lead.
And I think for the Aggies, whether it's offensively or defensively, they need someone to step up as a leader on this team and kind of be willing to take ownership of what's going on the court. And everyone, the look in their eyes is they're kind of just like trying to get through it, whereas someone just needs to step up and say, hey, I'm going to get us through here.
Well, and a logical candidate, MJ Collins, has struggled in this second half, but you just know what he's capable of doing. Really, any of these guys that are on the floor right now can be dangerous.
Absolutely. I mean, they all have the potential. I mean, I think this is the squad you want on the floor.
Officials are still talking about this. They've completed their review process. Now they're discussing it. The only thing that could work against the Aggies is that the call was out of bounds to Montana State, and they may not
After
see
review,
enough.
the call on the court of Montana State ball stands.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Utah State loses the challenge. Utah State is charged a timeout.
That's
And
definitely
Utah
hurtful.
State has no additional
no more
challenges
timeouts.
remaining for the game.
And so they don't have any timeouts left.
Yeah. And I think that refs must have determined that they just couldn't make a definitive call. To us, it looked pretty obvious,
Yeah.
but they have an even better replay than we do. All right, so here we go. Now the Aggies need some defense. Three-pointer for the lead. Got it. A big corner three for Holden. Aggies trail by 2. This would be a stunning win for Montana State if they could hold on. But there's a foul and free throws coming for MJ Collins.
And if you're Utah State, this is the guy you want at the line.
Yeah, absolutely. Big free throws coming for Collins. And this place will get deadly quiet. Big free throw. Montana State leading for the first time since the 10-minute mark of the first half. That's how long the Aggies have had the lead in this game. One more for Collins to tie it up. Two big free throws. We are tied. You see the time there, 40 seconds. Crowd comes to life. They're on their feet. Oh, and that ball's tipped out of bounds. It will stay with Montana State.
Both teams are in the bonus, so you don't want to give an easy foul to put them at the line.
Everyone standing here in the Spectrum and Logan.
Carson may want to drop back a bit. You don't want to get beat over the top.
Put a little bit of pressure on him. And timeout, Montana State. The Aggies are out of timeouts. You see Montana State has one more. Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, if you ever stepped up with defense, Gary, this is the time, right?
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, Aggies defensively have been strong. I mean, they've forced some difficult shots, and Montana State's been able to come through and make them when they needed to. And that's what we've talked about in this second half. They just hung around, and put themselves in a position right now to be tied with 31 seconds left on a very hostile court. So kudos to them and their confidence to continue to just keep pushing through.
Again, Montana State, much poorer shooting than the Aggies, 47% to 38%. And three-pointers, a full 10% less than the Aggies, 39% to 29%. Yet here they are. Rebounds have kept them in the game. Free throws have kept them in the game.
Well, and I think that's the thing is you could see it from the first half till now. They were just coming up with plays that just showed that they wanted to play basketball. They wanted to be in this game, and it's paid off as they've grinded it out and put themselves in this position.
The Aggies have missed 8 free throws. Montana State has only missed 2.
But I think
that's a big factor.
Actually, and I think that's an indication of focus and hustle. I mean, you just don't miss those if you're locked into the game.
All right, here we go. Tie ball game. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Of course, you want it in McMahon's hands. And then the steal. Did it go off McMahon? It did. The Aggies get the ball. Ball slip.
See, that's a huge play, and that's a heads-up play by Mason. You knew that it was going to McMahon. He's having a huge game. And then when his back's turned away from the from the defense, Mason just comes over and traps and comes up with a huge turnover. And that's the things that Mason Falslev will do for you. He will just come up with huge plays like that.
Montana State just used their last timeout. I think that kind of did the Aggies a favor.
Absolutely. Yeah, to get them.
They didn't have any.
Yeah, because the Aggies have been, Bobcats have been doing a great job keeping the Aggies out of sorts on the offensive end. They've just had to will it into the basket.
Montana State is challenging the call in the court of Utah State basketball. The previous play is under review.
Well, I don't know if they called a timeout. Do they have an ability to challenge the play?
Well, that's a good point because they don't have any timeouts left, but they might have done that at the same time because as soon as that whistle blew, the officials went straight to.
Maybe
Now here's that play. Oh, see, this is so close. It looks like McMahon hit it off that hand.
Yeah.
Even though King was right there.
Yeah.
And now we won't get another look at it, unfortunately.
I'm not even going to venture a guess. I was wrong last time.
Well,
so.
but again, they didn't have enough to overturn it. Well, in this case, do they have enough to overturn it? We are going to get another look right here. Oh, that's just that. I don't see enough.
Yeah, I don't. I'd be
definitive
surprised. But
well, if you can't overturn that previous one,
that's
I don't
what
know
I'm
how
saying.
you can overturn this one because it's about the same look. But again, this is our look.
Yeah, I'd like to get a look at what they're seeing.
Wow, what a game!
I mean, this is what college basketball is about, though.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the type of stuff you come in, you play with all your heart, and you leave it out on the basketball court, and that's what Montana State's done. They've pushed this Aggie team in a way that they haven't been pushed this year as far as I've seen.
So the officials have finished their review, and now they're just discussing it to make sure they all agree. And here we go. Here comes the call.
After review, the call on the court stands of Utah State basketball. Montana State loses the challenge and is charged a timeout. They have no additional challenges remaining for the game.
But you brought up an interesting point on that. If they had taken that timeout, it had to have been all one sequence.
Yeah.
And when we said they had taken a timeout, it appears what they had done is
just challenge
the play. So no timeouts now. He's got to play it out. Here we go. The Aggies in a good spot, though, with an opportunity to win this game.
You definitely don't want to leave any time on the clock, though.
Yeah, no question.
Play it out.
And here comes the play now. 5 seconds. Falslev. Falslev spins. And Falslev just heaves it up. Oh, it's done. I don't know. They're going to say no basket. We're going to go to overtime. Teplin was on the rim as the horn sounded.
That might have had even a chance to go in.
No, it was definitely short. But the light was on when he grabbed it. But wow. And I mean, Falslev certainly just got tangled up, had to do something, got it up on the rim. They just ran out of time. All right, overtime coming your way from Logan.
The call on the court is no basket. The play is under review.
Well, they're going to review it. I don't see that being overturned.
No, I don't either. I mean, the red on the back of the shot clock seemed to be on.
After review,
this is a quick review.
The call on the court stands. No basket.
All right, there you go.
Overtime.
So we will take a break. When we come back, bonus basketball here in Logan. Aggies and Bobcats going to OT. Basketball, we are deadlocked at 69, a 5-minute overtime. There is some foul trouble, though, Gary, and it's all on the Montana State side. McMahon has 4, Holden has 4, and Jed Miller has 4. Aggies don't have anyone with 4 fouls.
And I think the Aggies need to recognize that and start putting pressure on those guys because definitely at least McMahon, he's been such a factor in this game.
Here he comes. Kick out, 3's on the way. And another hustle rebound. And again, now the Aggies have it. Carson Temple's just everywhere.
Yeah, he's come up with some huge plays down the stretch here.
Well, there's another one.
I mean, he's on the floor, getting rebounds.
And he landed on Caven Holden, and Holden is hurt. And he is still down. I think he might have landed on his ankle or twisted his ankle. And so
that would be a huge loss for the Bobcats if he had to step out. He's been a threat from the three-point line.
Yeah, he's hit 3. He's shot 11, but he's hit 3 threes.
Oh, yeah, he landed right on his ankle. And that's a lot of weight 13, to come down.
Yeah. Yeah, coach is out there with him. Holden is a Central Washington transfer. He's a junior out of Longville, Washington. And he's been a good one in this game today.
Yeah, with as long as he's been down and seeing how his other foot's shaking, I think that did a number on his ankle.
See if they can get him up. Get a couple of his teammates come over and help out. Jed Miller and Jeremiah Davis, but he's not putting any weight at all on that ankle.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Yeah. Well, Templin, I mean, he's a big dude.
Okay. It's a lot of weight to come down on any part of anyone's body, for sure.
Yeah. 6'9", 230-pound junior. And just landed right on him. All right, so it is Montana State basketball. Still no score in the overtime period. Right into the post, but Templin is there, turns, fires, up and in. And Davian Brown gives the lead back to Montana State. Aggies have really struggled to find any offense here towards the end of the game and the overtime until MJ Collins hits a huge three. Boy, did they need that.
They did need that, and I think that's the thing is if you just need guys to step up and make big shots.
Brown again.
And he's getting to wherever he wants to on the court, and that's the thing is they're going to have to, in that pick and roll, is force him to be a distributor because he's getting into that paint with that soft touch, is able to convert.
Falslip working in the post, twist, turns. Cannot get that to fall. And there's Templin again.
This will be Utah State basketball.
Yeah. Boy, what a battle. It is a jump ball. Goes to the Aggies. Carson Templin is, man, he spent so much time on the ground. He should talk to Bronco Mendenball about playing some tight end. Lob, Templin, up and in.
That's just a heads-up play by Drake. Defender just sitting with his hands on his knees on the inbound. This is where this crowd's going to be helpful.
1 point Aggie lead. Got to watch Davian Brown. He's been just sensational in this overtime. Here goes Jed Miller. He'll back it out. 2.5 to play, midway through overtime. Miller spins, and Miller's shot, no. The rebound is secured by King. Aggies with the ball and the lead.
This is where the Aggies have failed to execute, and this is where they really need to buckle down and be disciplined in how they structure their offense, set good screens, make good passes, and be able to convert.
Oh, Collins, he wanted that 3, but Jed Miller closed quickly. Shot clock down to 2. Got to throw it up there. Allen does that. Oh, and almost goes on an offensive board. Well, Templin had it, but Chris Hodges stayed with it. And now Montana State basketball.
See, and I think the Aggies get stuck. Their first option doesn't come through as they wanted, and they don't know where to go after a second option. To definitely heave up a 30-foot 3 at the end isn't going to get you where you want to go down the stretch here.
McMahon air ball. So right back where we were.
Need to be disciplined here and be able to look for second option.
Collins, 3, looks good, but no. Oh, and that ball went off. They're going to say it's Montana State ball, but the refs are going to talk about it. The two of them get together, and they switch it.
And that's the thing is Mason, again, he did that on the trap in the end of regulation. Now just continues to make a heads-up play.
And there's no challenges.
Yep.
The refs could choose to look at it, but they are in agreement. And here we go. One-point Aggie lead, 1 minute to play. Oh, the ball movement. Falslev. And Falslev up and in. Oh, big basket for the Aggies.
It's just good, strong plays. Mason stepping up and making big shots. That's what the Aggies needed.
Timeout. Montana State. So now they're out of timeouts. They're overtime timeouts. They're going to just take a 20 or 30, excuse me.
And I think that's one thing it's hard to understand how much pressure is on you as a player out there in times like these. No matter who you're playing, game's on the line, you have the ball in your hand, you have to make a decision whether you're going to shoot it, whether you're going to pass it, what you're going to do with it. And to be able to come out, have all that pressure on you and continue to and convert like that, that says a lot about the maturity of this team to be able to battle through, because I can see it in their eyes. They're just slugging it out. Nothing's come easy for the Aggies tonight, and that's a credit to the Bobcats. I mean, they just have made it real difficult.
Absolutely a credit to this Bobcat team that they've lost games, fairly close games at Colorado, Stanford, Boise State. They've played some really tough games. And here they are again.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's going to benefit them moving into conference play.
Oh, no doubt.
Playing mid to high major teams, and then just staying in the running with them.
Playing out of the Big Sky, and Montana State's historically been very competitive throughout the years in the Big Sky. Right now they're down by 3. Obviously, got to keep an eye on number 1, McMahon in the corner.
And Montana State doesn't need a 3 right now.
They're going to launch one, though, and that's going to come up short. Falslev's got it. And a big rebound for Falslev, and he's going to be shooting free throws.
Yep.
Mason's a good rebounder anyway. He averages 5 a game.
Yeah, I mean, he can come up with some amazing rebounds, but, I mean, just think about these last two plays down the court. He's knocked the ball out of bounds to return it to the Aggies' possession. He's scored the bucket to put him up by 3, come up with the rebound, and puts himself at the line to help extend this Aggie lead in these crucial last seconds.
And Gary's got 8 rebounds in this game. That's as many as Templin. He's always just been a really tough rebounder. And a good free throw shooter as well. So a 2-possession game now, and Mason can add to that here. Hits them both. Boy, he has been big in this overtime.
Yeah, he's come up with some big plays.
Montana State hasn't scored in 3 minutes.
But this is where they come down and they hit a three and then they get a stop.
Yeah, well, here goes your three. Got it. Boy, did you call that?
That's just the way they've been playing. Now they need to put more pressure on the ball. I mean, they're just letting time run off the clock. The shot clock's turned off, so.
And there's the foul. So a 1-on-1 for Allen.
This game's definitely
My
not over
goodness,
with the way
no.
that the Bobcats have been playing. It's 1-1.
Really needs both to put even more pressure on the Bobcats. That's a big one there. So
Yeah.
a 3-point game now to make it a 2-possession game with 18 seconds. Got it.
Here we go. Foul of three-point shooter right now.
Yeah, they got to get a shot up. Already down to 10 seconds left in the game.
Good defense.
And a turnover there. Did that go off? No, it did not go off. Davy and Brown, as King was hoping. At least the officials have not signaled that, and that's not the case.
Looked like it from over here, but yeah, right off his foot.
Yep. Jed Miller just launches a three, and he's got another one. Unbelievable. Still a 1-point game, and they're going to foul MJ Collins immediately. So they're trading threes for two. So even if MJ hits these, they're still going to have a couple of seconds to try to go down and launch
Another three.
another
yeah.
three. He is shooting two.
Which Bobcats have been hitting. I mean, MJ couldn't have played better defense than that. I mean, that was just a great shot.
Yeah, that's unbelievable what Miller has done. He's got 3 threes in this game, 2 of them in this overtime. MJ Collins. Perfect.
So really quiet.
You know my
unbelievable.
thought on
Yeah.
that. Sometimes it's too quiet.
Yeah, it's pretty quiet.
But Collins, the Vanderbilt transfer, really having a great season for these Aggies. And here we go. Oh, man. You used the whole rim there. So 3-point game. 3.4 seconds.
I would just put 2 players on your no foul, don't foul.
Oh, well, the one good thing about fouling is, a lot of teams subscribe to this.
Yeah.
It's 3-point lead, so they can only get within 2. My guess is they'll have him hit the first one and maybe intentionally miss the second.
Yeah,
That's
and I
your
don't-
only chance.
Yeah, I don't mind the foul. I just don't want him to, foul a 3-point shooter.
on
that,
the shot. Yes, you are correct. Oh, man. That's only happened twice tonight
Right.
already.
Right.
Oh, that. I don't even want to think about that.
It's
So
it's 1-1. The guy, he's got to box out.
Yeah. Well, he's got to hit this first one. And then you really got to box out. So Jed Miller to the line. Now he's got to miss.
Yeah, he's going to call a timeout here.
Yeah, the Aggies will use their last timeout. Make sure they've got all their ducks in a row. It'll be a 30-second timeout. Wow, Gary, what do you think? What a game.
I get some height in there if I were the Aggies. Maybe get Clark back in there with Templin. Make sure that we can not let them tip it out for an open 3 or an open 2.
Well, and Gary Clark is a rebounding machine.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know that they're going to try to miss this shot. So, agreed. No timeouts left for either team.
Well, and the Aggies like to get over 80. They usually win if they're over 80, but this has been
Well,
fight.
how about they're 20-0
Oh, yeah.
under Jared Calhoun when
Yeah,
they
so-
score over 80?
Yeah.
So to your point, yes, they've hit that magic number.
Right. Let's see if it holds true here.
So they do bring it. So Clark and Templin are on the right under the basket.
And the Bobcats have 2 shooters out. Yep. Calhoun made a right
Yeah.
adjustment.
Yeah,
I would have pulled someone off the free throw line to ensure.
Yeah, he needs to make sure that McMahon is
Right.
well defended.
Yep. Because it's coming back out.
And there's the perfect miss. Oh, it went in. Oh. You know, I think they're saying it hit. Is he saying it hit the backboard? And
I think they started to run time off the clock before.
oh, you're right. And there shouldn't be any time off the
Yeah.
clock. It should just be. It was an even 3 seconds,
Mhm.
correct?
Yes.
Okay, there it is. All right, here we go. Now, key number 1: get the ball inbounded. You got to do that. King's got it, and quick foul. 1.9 on the clock. That's unbelievable. There's still going to be time.
Yeah. With no timeouts left. I mean, you got to get it in. And I've never been sure how I felt with fouling with 3, like being ahead by 3. I mean, I understand it. I don't necessarily have a
Yeah.
problem, but I just
Everyone has a different philosophy on
Yeah.
it. Some coaches, you really see a discrepancy on how that's played in the NBA. Like Jerry Sloan, the legendary Jazzman, never did that.
yeah.
He just wanted to play it straight up. Oh, by the way, side note, McMahon fouled out.
Which hurts. Because
I
he's
could see-
definitely a threat.
Yeah. So now you've got to look to Jed Miller. But most important thing right now is Colby King needs to hit these free throws. He's got the first, and it's pure. And again, no timeouts. So as soon as this goes through, we'll see how the Aggies choose to play it. Okay, here we go. If you're going to foul, make sure they're not shooting. Jared Cowan's telling everyone to get back. He wants to make sure they can. Here comes a deep pass, and it doesn't matter if it goes up and in, but that's it.